Hello, my name is Felix Okeke. I'm your marriage counselor and coach. Welcome once again to Marriage Without Tears channel. Today we are discussing a topic that is titled, How to Recover Your Husband from the Arms of His Mistress. How to recover your husband from the arms of his mistress. Marriage, as we know, is a very sweet experience, very fulfilling one. I call it the most fulfilling part of human relationship, marriage. Very wonderful. But once in a while, this marriage can be truncated or jeopardized or challenged by the influence of a third party. And if third party comes into it with lustful intentions, that can spell the death knell to that relationship. But today we're going to look at it more critically. You know, I have seen so many women, especially married women, they react to such issues with bitterness. When they discover that their husband is into extramarital affairs, they react with a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of depression. Some of them become violent. I have seen all manner of things happen in the marriage arena. I have seen a woman take the war to her supposed adversary and raining all manner of vituperations, all manner of abuses and caustic remarks on her. I have seen a woman pour hot water upon her husband simply because she suspected him of being involved in an extramarital affair. I have seen a lot of women throw a lot of tantrums simply in an effort to bring back their husbands, in an effort to restore the relationship. But let me tell you, no matter the way you look at it, such actions or inactions may not actually get you the desired result. What we are going to discuss here are effective ways of achieving results, effective ways of drawing back your husband. Do you understand that the moment you begin to do all manner of things, create scenes, be violent, do all manner of things to bring back your husband, before you know it, the people involved, your husband and her and his girlfriend, they become bolder and they begin to dare the consequences because the man desires to protect his newfound love. And suddenly the woman comes out from her shell and she begins to say things that you don't expect. She becomes bolder in the whole thing. Because the way you have taken it is a wrong step, is a wrong strategy. You can never achieve your goal through that. So what I'm going to tell you here are things you are supposed to do when you discover that your husband is in the arms of another woman. What exactly will you do to bring him back? What exactly will you do to restore the joy and the harmony in your relationship? That is our topic today. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, just click on this red button by my side, get subscribed and be part of what we are doing. I want you to be part of it on a continual basis. We have done close to 50 videos and we are going to do much more. So be part of it. Subscribe so that you'll be getting our recordings, our productions from time to time. So what is the first thing you need to do? The first thing you need to do is to take stock of yourself. Ask yourself, where did the rot begin? Where did it begin? Where did the rot begin? Where exactly? At what point did my marriage go bad? At what point did I miss it? Where was it fouled up? What actually happened? At what point did my husband leave me emotionally? What did I do or what did I fail to do in order to win my husband to myself? How come that this thing happened to me? There is a saying, a common saying, that when cracks come onto a wall, when there are cracks upon the wall, lizards and all manner of things take advantage and they crawl into the gap, into the cracks in the hole. What way have I allowed cracks to come into my marriage? That lizards will now come in and take over. What did I do? What did I fail to do? You must begin to ask yourself such questions. When you were married initially, your husband was your focus of attention. He was your number one priority. Your life began and ended with him. But over a period of time, as I'm talking to you now, what happened? How come that the kids have taken over? How come that your work has taken over? How come that you're now more interested in your trading, in your business, more than that of your husband? How come? How come that you have taken this relationship for granted? How come that you're not sowing seeds into this relationship to keep it? Let me tell you, because you have taken your relationship for granted, it gave way for another woman to come in and take over before you know it. Ask yourself, why did I allow that to happen? The second thing you must ask yourself, am I still cooking his best meals for him? When you got married, you took delight in cooking your husband's best meals. You watched him eat it, and you rejoiced when he finished eating, and you are glad and you rejoiced together. It was always a warm morning or a great evening. You loved it. It was an atmosphere that you created, and it was wonderful. But over a period of time, how come that you have allowed the house helps to cook his food? How come that you have allowed your daughters, who are very young, they don't have the experience of giving your husband the best quality food? How come that you are now allowing your daughters to cook his food? How come you are now allowing the house helps to take care of his things? At this point, you are missing it. Because once again, by the time he realizes he's no longer getting the best food he used to get, what do you think will happen? He begins to eat outside. From eating outside, he falls in love with the person who serves his food outside. And then you begin to get jealous, and you begin to show anger here and there. No, you must ask yourself, where did I miss it? Where did I miss it? You must also ask yourself, am I still neat and do I still dress provocatively the way I used to do in those days? Am I still my ravishing nature? Am I still myself? Do I dress in the best apparel that will arouse the passion in my husband? Do I still dress that way? Or am I now tying wrapper and wearing all manner of useless gowns in the house? Am I closing all the things that he used to admire? What exactly have I done to make my husband to look away from me? What did I do? What did I fail to do? You must ask yourself some of these questions. These are very, very clear questions you must begin to ask yourself from time to time. It is very, very important. You must begin to ask yourself some of these questions. You must ask yourself, at what point did I deviate from attending to my husband, from caring for him? Am I still giving him sex the way he loves it? In those days of your marriage, the earlier part of your marriage, when you are in sexual conjugation with your husband, it was always a joyful moment. It was a delight. You mourned and he mourned, and it was a joyful exercise for both of you. You rejoice in it. You look forward to it. But these days, because of your work, because of your schedules, because of your tight schedules, sometimes, sex to you is simply a duty that you do grudgingly. It no longer inspires him. Therefore, he looks outside, because there are women out there who can give him what you are denying him. Whether you like it or not, there are people out there. And then when they begin to do that, you get jealous. And then you begin to throw about, begin to shout here and there. No, enough of the tears, enough of the cry. You must begin to ask yourself some clear-cut questions. Where did I miss it? Where did I miss it? Am I still that motivating voice that motivates my husband to achieve his best potential? A man likes somebody that encourages him, not somebody that nags at him, not somebody that nitpicks him, not somebody that always finds fault with whatever he does, not somebody that always criticizes him for every action. He wants a motivator. What you are in that marriage to do is to motivate him to achieve his best potential. How far have you done with that? How good are you at that? Are you doing that presently? If you're not doing that, then maybe there is somebody who is doing that outside and is giving that person an ear. It's giving that person, and from giving that person an ear, a relationship began. And now you are now complaining. You are in that relationship to motivate him. You are in that relationship to encourage him to be his best. Have you been doing that? You must begin to ask yourself that. Many women, when they discover that their husbands are into extramarital affairs, all they do is to cry, all they do is to shout, all they do is to complain, all they do is to take their cases here and there. No, sit back, meditate, think back, check yourself. Where have you missed it? You must ask yourself, am I still that submissive wife? One that submits unto him with respect, with love, with the intention to create the right harmony in my marriage. Am I still that woman? Or am I the one that has become argumentative, that wants to prove a point all the time, that wants to usurp his own position as a man? Am I that kind of person? What happened? What happened? There are women of a period of time, they begin to usurp the rights of the man. Possibly they are earning more than the man. Possibly they got an open door somewhere along in their career, and they have been lifted in their career. Suddenly, they are bosses in the office, and they want to come home to become boss. It doesn't work that way. If you begin to do that, The man, for whatever reason, will find a woman outside who will submit himself, who will submit herself to his leadership and to his authority. So that's what happens. You must begin to ask yourself that. Am I still that submissive wife? Am I still that loving wife? Am I still that wife that creates the right ginger, the right harmony? Am I still that woman? You must ask yourself that. These are things that make a man look outside. Then the second thing you must do, because if you don't know the cause of a thing, there's the tendency for you to be, looking at the effects. The effects is that your man is outside with a mistress. But the causes is what I'm telling you. If you can take care of the causes, you will discover that the effects will be no more. You will discover that your man will come, you will just walk home to you. That is a certainty. The second thing you must do is that you must begin to ask yourself, what is his mistress giving to him that I cannot offer? What are those things that he's receiving from his mistress that I'm not offering to him? What are those things? For instance, his mistress gives him excitement. His mistress loves him with an open heart. His mistress is always there for him, cooking him his best meals. His mistress is there, caring and showing him lots of affection, allowing him to be the man in her life, allowing him to take his central position and his number one position as the biggest factor in her life. That is what the mistress gives him. Let me tell you, anytime he is visiting his mistress, the woman is ever ready. She makes sure that the environment is clean. She makes sure that everything is tidied up. She makes sure that the right music is in place. She makes sure that the house is conducive for his visitation. She makes sure of all these things. And as soon as the man shows up at the door, she's the first to get up, go and, embrace him, give him a peck or even a kiss, draw him into the house. If he's carrying on a suit, she is the person that removes that suit. She's the person that makes sure that his shoes are removed, that he feels comfortable. She begins to tell him good things. And of course, she presents the best meal to him. He makes him feel relaxed. He makes him to be the man in her life. And this is what makes a man joyful. Respect, and respect. But if the man comes to his own house and what he finds are cooking utensils that are everywhere dirty, he finds that the toilets are oozing with odor, he finds out that the laundries are unwashed, he finds out that the house is in turmoil, he finds out that the whole home is like a riot ground. How do you compare such atmosphere? That man, for whatever reason, sometimes will be tempted unto going to the place of his mistress, even if it means spending a little while before coming to his home, because he knows that his home is not a place to rest. His mistress is a place to rest after a day's work. So sometimes we need to ask ourselves, what are we offering? What is happening? Where have we missed it? Because we, like I said earlier, we must not continually look onto the effects. Look at the causes. Look at what you did to undermine your relationship. Look at the actions you took. Look at the inactions around you. Look at one or two things that you did that made your marriage and your marital place uncomfortable. What are those things? You must begin to ask yourself that. There's no need casting aspersions and blames. There's no need crying and shedding tears here and there. It does not follow. You must sit back and ask yourself, where did I miss it? Where exactly did I miss it? Very, very important. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please, I encourage you to do so. There's a red button by my side. Click on that button and get subscribed. This is a channel essentially made for married couples to receive education and information that will make them to build a home that is on solid rock, a home that will stand the test of time. This is your channel. So we are going to be talking about a whole lot of things. We have done 50 videos already, and we're going to do much more. So be part of this journey as we go on to the third point. The third thing you must do when you find out your husband is in an extramarital affair, is in the arms of his mistress. And the third thing you must do is not to fight, physical fight. This is not a physical battle. It's a spiritual battle. You must begin to understand that your husband is in a spiritual warfare. And of course, he has become a victim of that warfare. You must therefore commit him unto God. You must begin to commit him unto God. I want to let you know, in the organogram of marriage, the Lord is the head of every husband, and the husband is the head of the wife. So sometimes when you challenge your husband in a physical encounter, you discover that you always lose because you are not in the position to order him about. You are not in the position to control him. So what do you do as a woman? You will return, you will report to him who has the authority to control him, who has the authority to minister to him. That's why you must take your case to the higher authority. Therefore, commit him unto God. There is a spirit called lust, and that is what your husband has fallen victim unto. And I must also tell you that when one is under the influence of the power of lust, senses are shut down. When one is under that influence, personalities are imprisoned. When one is under that influence, a whole lot of things happen. Since you are the one that has sanity, all you need to do is to form a prayer chain. Look for like-minded believers who can intercede with you. People who can take your case as a personal case. And then you go through a prayer of intercession. Get your pastor involved. Get other people who have spiritual depth involved. So that you can form a prayer chain concerning the life of your husband. Battle for the soul of your husband. Battle for the spirit of your husband. Battle is a spiritual battle. And if you can only do this, you will discover that one day the man will just wake up and come back to himself. There will be total restoration. If you can only take the matter to a higher authority, a higher ground, to the throne of grace, the Lord will intercede and you will have your marriage back and you will be restored and joy will return to your marriage. And it does not take anything for him to wake up one day and even end the affair without your knowledge. When the Lord intercedes, that's what happens. But you cannot win this war as a physical battle. The next thing you must also do is to be calm in moments like this. Be calm. Be loyal to him. Remember what God said. He said, be still and know that I am God. At this time, you must be calm. You must begin to walk around him as if nothing is at stake. While you are internally, developing ways of ministering to him based on what we have spoken so far. In any way where you have failed, you begin to make amends, but be calm. Don't let him know that there is anything on. Just be calm. Any moment you begin to use it as a physical battle and begin to confront your husband and begin to chase his supposed mistress everywhere in town, you will discover that you will have a negative outcome. As a matter of fact, marriages have ended on that score, with the man getting married to his mistress eventually. So the only thing you can do is to be calm. As you are calm and as you are still loyal to him, a time will come when he will sit back in his inner room and begin to weigh options. And he will discover that in terms of character, when measured alongside you, that you stand 1,000 kilometers ahead of his concubine. So this will happen, but you may never know. But I want you at this point to be very calm. Be calm. And know that every marriage must go through a period of trial, a period of testing. These are testing and trying periods in your own marriage. And the moment you are able to win, another feather is added onto you. What makes a woman is actually about experiences and training. When you encounter and you win, you discover that you become a better woman in the process. But wars, like I always say, are not won by evacuations. Wars are not won by evacuations. So when you pick up your things and you leave your matrimonial home because the woman is having an extramarital affair, you lose eventually. So stay in your marriage and work it out. And the glory of God will come upon you and you become a winner to the glory of God. You are blessed. Like I always say, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. There's the red button by my side. Click on it, get subscribed, and be part of this wonderful journey. I look forward to seeing you next week. So, to that man, to that woman around you, receive the grace to triumph. Remain blessed.